What's up, everyone? As we hurtle towards the 7th eviction of Big Brother 27, Kat is annoyed at Rachel, Morgan is annoyed at Lauren, Keanu is annoyed at Vince, and the list is ever evolving. We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your live feed update. Right before we get started, if you are new around here, hit the subscribe button. We have just hit 30,000 subscribers. I want to thank you all so much for that, but we're now on the road to 40,000. So folks, hit the subscribe button. I'm here every single day breaking down everything you need to know about what's going on inside that crazy house. So if you want to stay up to date, hit the subscribe button. I also cover The Challenge and Bachelor in Paradise, with more coverage coming for more reality TV this fall. So hit the subscribe button. And also, I'm going to ask you all to hit the like button. That one takes all of 0.2 seconds just to click that little thumbs up down there. And it helps me out more than you even know. As a smaller content creator, those likes go a really long way. And one more thing, folks, I do put a lot of time and effort into these videos, so if you feel like supporting me, buying me a coffee, whatever you want to call it, folks, please consider leaving a super thanks or hitting up my PayPal link in the description below. But without further ado, let's get to the update. Trivia question of the day now, folks, and I'm going to answer yesterday, or reveal yesterday's answer. The question, of course, was who out of every single house guest in Big Brother US history has been nominated the most times in a single season. If you said Victoria from season 16, you would be correct. She was nominated a staggering, get this, 10 times, double digits in one season. Absolute insanity. So well done if you got that. And today's question, this one isn't trivia today, it's an actual question. If you had to say right now who's going to win Big Brother 27, who would it be? Who is going to win Big Brother 27? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, gang, let me preface today's update with, wow, a lot of these house guests are annoyed at each other, but I am not annoyed at you guys because we just hit 30,000 subscribers. I know I talked about it just briefly there, but I just want to thank everybody for the folks who've been with me, since last week, the folks who've been with me since last year, the folks who've been with me since the beginning. And I know there's people who've rode with me all this time, and I'm so grateful for every single person who's joined the community along the way. And, hopefully in another year's time, 2 years' time, 3 years' time, we can all still be hanging here talking Big Brother and all of our favorite reality shows, and the folks who've helped me get to this point. Like I said, it's just not possible without you. I know it's the cliche thing to say, and that's why I say we. I know, like, people go, we are the... I view it as a community, and that's why I say we. We all did this together, so give yourselves a pat on the back, folks. Thank you so much. 30,000. If you told me all those years ago that my little old channel would end up on that many subs, I would have laughed. But here we are. Wow. Thank you so much. Onwards and upwards to 40,000 next. Those numbers are climbing, folks. But let's talk about what's going on inside this crazy house. The first thing I'm going to bring up today is Keanu and Vince. After the nomination ceremony, I'll remind everybody, well, not the nomination, the veto ceremony, Mickey obviously decided to use the power of veto on herself, as we discussed yesterday, and then Vince had to decide the replacement nominee, and he chose Kat. Again, I'm in disbelief that Rachel Riley isn't on that block. It's absolute madness. I was listening to Kat talk crap about Rachel later, and Vince was going, yeah, that's so true. And he was actually like meaning it. And I was thinking to myself, if you actually mean this, why didn't you just put Rachel up? And why is Kat venting to... It's backwards. It's completely backwards. I'm going to talk about that very soon. But one of the first things that happened after the veto ceremony was Keanu going to Vince. He wanted to talk to him and confront him, because we all know, we've been talking throughout the week, that Keanu, more than anyone, wants to get Rachel out. It's a double-edged sword, though. It's a weird thing, because it's like Keanu doesn't have many allies or people who have his back, but Rachel does. But also, he's actively the only one going after Rachel, and I'm like, okay, good for you for that, like, he's trying. He's trying. That's more than a lot of other people are. But it's one of those things where, for Keanu specifically, he might need to wait a little bit longer to target her. Each person in that house needs to target certain people at different times. And for Keanu, it's, like we said, there's mixed paths you can go down, and I don't really see a path in which Keanu gets to the end and wins the game, if I'm being totally honest, if we're going to jump ahead. But I do see a situation in which he might get America's favourite player and he might return to be an all-star. That's kind of without a doubt for me. But he confronted Vince and said, I don't like what you're doing here. I feel like you're making weak moves. I think you need to be bolder in the game and in life. He actively went for him on a life level as well as the game level. And I just think he thought that Vince is kind of weaselly and doesn't have a backbone. And I've got to say, I agree with Keanu. While I think Vince is in possibly the best position in this house because it's working for him, but it doesn't stop me from thinking what Keanu's thinking as well, which is that I feel like there isn't really a backbone there behind the decisions. I feel like he swishes with the waves. You know, he's Lauren upgraded into somebody who, you know, can win more comps and make more decisions with more ease. But again, he doesn't have much conviction with these decisions, and then he goes into victim mode. But I feel like it works for him. You know, I can sit here all day and say he plays victim all the time, which he does, but it's working for him. The whole woe is me card, I'm sure we've all encountered somebody like that in life. I know I have. And we know that these people can get away with doing what they want to do by just playing victim every single time. And, oh, the world's against me, woe is me. And I feel like Vince does that. Without a doubt. It works for him. Listen, if it's going to get him the money, then good for him. But Keanu's clocked it. He sees it and he's called it weak. He says he needs to be bolder. And then the tears start coming from Vince right on cue. Like, you can't make this stuff up. The tears start streaming down his face. The victim mode comes. And then Keanu starts crying as well. Speaking of Keanu and Vince, I completely made a mistake yesterday when I was editing. I said I was going to put in that picture when Keanu climbed into Vince's bed and he was looking so awkward about it. So I am going to throw that up on screen right now. I'll actually do it today. Well done, Tom. I apologise for not putting that one in yesterday. But yeah, definitely a complex relationship that has been formed over the past few weeks. Keanu and Vince as a duo, seeing their conversations is just absolute madness. I, again, want to liken it to the great comedy Planes, Trains and Automobiles, with John Candy being Keanu and Steve Martin being Vince. You know, Vince is the straight man, Keanu's the more jovial one, and Keanu, the John Candy, is putting Steve Martin, Vince, in all these awkward scenarios, and it's fantastic to watch, just like a comedy. But yes, tears down Vince's face, victim mode works again, and Vince lives another day as they mend the relationship. Now that Kat's hit the block, her emotions have started to flow out, and they are very ugly. In fact, she is honing in on Rachel Riley and blaming Rachel for everything and saying Rachel this, Rachel that. It's so odd how people use Rachel as almost like a punching bag is what I'm going to say, a verbal punching bag. And I just think it's really, it says so much about how Rachel didn't nominate Kat, and yet Vince was the one who nominated Kat, yet Kat is the one who's up in the HOH room kissing Vince's ass and saying how much Rachel annoys her. I'm like, and Kat doesn't really do a lot of that, but I'm just absolutely flabbergasted that this is the man who nominated her, and then she's all of a sudden all up his ass talking crap about Rachel. This is why Vince is going to get to the end, guys. I've said it. He can do whatever he wants to anyone. He can put him on the block. Thanks, Vince. Oh, I appreciate you. Like, no, oh, thanks, Vince. Oh, this is Rachel's fault. Is it? Is it Rachel's fault? It's just like, it's weaselly. That's why I do that, voice break there, because I don't know where this is going. And I just think, why do these people fall so hard on the sword for Vince and then blame Rachel for everything? Sure, I mean, you might not like living with Rachel, but I am really trying to sit here and rack my brains trying to figure out why this is Rachel's fault. Kat went as far as to say that when she gets out the house, she wants to start a Twitter account or start a social media account, several, and start rumours about Rachel, about how she... And I quote this. Big Brother 27 houseguest reveals that Rachel Riley needs to shave her neck 3 times a week. I am just... It's so random. It's kind of funny, but it's also like... because it's such a random thing to talk about a shaved neck. But it's also like, Kat, this is so embarrassing for you. Vince just nominated you, and here you are kissing his ass and crapping on Rachel. I don't get it. I really don't, because I am just noticing a pattern now where it's like, if you were annoyed, you take it out on Rachel. And I think it's that hive mentality again that's coming into play that I've talked about so much over the past few weeks, where it's one of those things where these people are so afraid to rock the boat that because Rachel isn't one of those people, she is easily the person that blame can be put on, and without shaking the boat, you know. If she goes for Vince, that disrupts the sheep. It disrupts the hive mind, and going for Rachel doesn't do that, you know. So therefore, that's maybe why all this aggression and all this, you know, angst and anxiety and all the above is being pushed onto Rachel. It's backwards. It doesn't make sense. And when she rewatches the season, she's going to realise that Vince actually had it out for her more than Rachel. But Kat's showing her ass right now, and she's shown that she's not a very good player under pressure, and that she doesn't really have good reads in this game. But yeah, she was saying that, but she also did acknowledge if Rachel gets to the end, she is going to vote her to win. So that was a wake up call there, because she was saying if anybody actually takes Rachel to the end, they are a dumbass. And she said, and I was so glad she called them a dumbass, because this is what I've been trying to say, you know. And I actually respected the fact that she said, this is crazy. She's making it this deep in the game, and if she gets to the end, she deserves to win, you know. Because I heard Vince saying the same conversation that she's not going to win this thing. She's not going to win it. But then Kat was like, if she gets to the end, if the other person's there that took her, they're a dumbass, and I'm voting her to win. There was a moment in the head of household room where Morgan was consoling Vince. This is becoming a regular occurrence now. I really think that Morgan has switched tact from Zach to Vince. That's what I feel like's going on here. I really feel like she is somebody who can't function without latching on to somebody. It's rather fascinating to watch in a weird way, you know? It's like, whoa, this is freaky deaky. Because I feel like if Vince left, I mean, who would she latch on to next? I don't even know, because I feel like it would be a guy. Maybe I don't think it would be Keanu. I feel like she would nominate Keanu, but again, like, we haven't got a lot of guys left, and I don't see her cozying up to Will. I don't see her cozying up to Keanu. So I feel like Morgan could fly if Vince wasn't in the game, because she wouldn't be so honed in on focusing on a man, and that's just been tough to watch, seeing somebody throw away their game for obviously something that she's affectionate for. And I do think she's into Vince, I really do. I don't necessarily think Vince is into her, but I've seen stuff online of people saying, you know, Vince's girlfriend apparently gave him a pass to flirt, and I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I've seen a lot of people talking about that. But yeah, they're definitely getting cozy in that head of household room, cuddling all the time, and, you know, more than you would with an average friend, you know what I mean? Especially when you've got a partner, it's just, it raises a lot of eyebrows. But yeah, she's consoling him again. This is how Vince operates. He gets people to feel sorry for him, and it works to his advantage. And he's good at it. He's really good at it. And he was talking about how he feels bad about Lauren's position in the game. And Morgan just kind of picks him up out the gutter and gives him a pep talk and says, Lauren's position is not your fault. She excludes herself from everybody. She doesn't talk to anyone. She barely talks to me. She barely talks to Will. She barely talks to Rachel. And she really, I mean, she only talks to Vince. I mean, she does talk to other people because, you know, we see this on the feeds, but her real allegiance is Vince. And this has been my biggest gripe with Lauren the entire time. And she's lovely on a personal level. I don't want to discredit that at all. Lovely, lovely young person. And she's going places in life because she's got a very sweet persona about her and a really lovely cadence about her. But when it comes to the game, she has the backbone of a jellyfish, a spine of a jellyfish. It is absolutely gut-wrenching to watch as a fan of the show, and seeing how people fight tooth and nail to get on this show and want to really, you know, make an impression on this game and would do anything to make it deep. Lauren feels like a waste of space. I feel that way. You know, we had obviously Sam. I know Sam feels the same way when Sam comes in here and does the scenarios. We obviously had Jade here visiting last week, you know, my sister-in-law, Sam's sister, and she feels the exact same way about Lauren. All three of us are super fans of the show, and seeing Lauren, the way she operates in this game, is just so freaking. It's not even just depressing. It's frustrating. You just think, wow, how spineless are you that you come into this game and you cry every single time you get a bit of power and ask everybody to make the decision for you. It just makes me think of all the people who queued up to go to all these auditions or sent an audition in and would play their ass off to win that money. And here we are with Lauren, who just kind of centers a game around one guy. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other level of things. She doesn't even play for herself. She plays for Vince. And Morgan clocked it. Say what you will about Morgan, she's a weirdo for going dumpster diving for the toothbrush, but it doesn't mean she can't clock something and get a good read on it. And she did it with Lauren right there. It's not Vince's fault. Lauren has literally thrown herself on the sword to make her game for Vince. And unfortunately, Lauren doesn't know it yet, but that's going to be her legacy in Big Brother as the years go on. When we think back to this season, if we think of Lauren, which we probably won't because she's quite forgettable, but if we do, she'll be remembered as somebody who literally played Vince's game more than her own. You know, there's been people over the years who've been puppets for the puppet master, but this is a whole other level. I don't even think Vince is trying to manipulate her that hard. She is literally throwing herself on the tracks of the Vince railway train, and she doesn't seem to have any second thought about it. It's embarrassing, it's ridiculous, and I want her to play. And I know I've seen people saying she might kick it into gear as, you know, we get to the back end of the season. And I really do hope that's the case. I hope I'm wrong about this, but I don't see it happening. If she hasn't done it now, why would she kick into gear in future? Is her third eye just going to open all of a sudden and then she becomes this masterful player? I don't think so. Maybe if Lauren played again in 5 years, 10 years time, she'd be better. But right now, she has the convictions of a garden snail and the spine of a jellyfish. The Rachel slander continued from Kat, with her saying this line. She said, "I'm not going to exclude myself to not be around a 40-year-old pre-menopausal woman." I don't understand how that factors in. I don't understand how menopause factors in. I don't understand how the pre-menopause factors in. I don't understand how her being in her 40s factors in. It just feels like hating for the sake of hating at this point. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world that she said, but again, it's just this, you're looking at it and going, why is she so wound up? She needs to channel this into getting revenge on Vince. I also want to bring up the fact that even though she's hating on Rachel there and thinking that calling her a 40-year-old premenopausal woman is an insult, I want to remind everybody that Kat called herself, and I quote, a raging feminist at the beginning of this season. Does that sound like something a raging feminist would say, folks? I don't think so. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. Over the next day or two, we're going to start to see where the vote is heading. Of course, it's Sam's Scenarios tomorrow on the channel, so make sure you tune in for that, where Sam comes on and breaks down all the voting scenarios, because Kelly, Ava and Kat are on the block, and one of them will leave this week, and Sam's going to be breaking that down tomorrow. But speaking of Sam, if you've been enjoying Sam on the channel over the past few weeks, me and Sam did a Bachelor in Paradise breakdown together yesterday. I've been doing them by myself all season, but I was watching this show and I was thinking, this is all about couples, and I thought, how about a couple break down an episode? So we had an absolute blast. So for the first time ever on TV Talks with Tom history, I shared the screen with a co-host, and I had so much fun, and so did Sam. So if you want to check that out, folks, it's, you know, you don't even need to be watching Bachelor in Paradise. We were just bantering around for a good 40 minutes and we had a really good laugh. So if you want to tune into that, folks, it's uploaded on the channel now, the latest Bachelor in Paradise breakdown. I'll also link it in this video if you want to check it out. Please go show it some support, especially with it being Sam's first time hosting a full video on TV Talks with Tom. Please go show it some love, folks. They did an amazing job, and I just want to show it some love and bring some attention to it there, folks. But I want to tell everybody that you can send me a postcard with the address on screen right now. I'm going to be heading to the PO box right after this video to pick up everything that's been sent there, so I can get ready to film the mail video. I am so excited. If I don't get it in time, by the way, folks, do not worry, because I'm doing another mail opening video at the end of the season with everything else that comes through. So seriously, don't worry, folks. I'm going to receive it either way, and it will be on camera eventually. I mean, I would love to hear from you, so please reach out. Postcards, packages, I've received a lot, and it's warming my heart. I've got a big pile next to me right now. I'm starting to collate everything together, and I would love to hear from you, so please reach out. I've got a few super thanks, though, to finish off. I think y'all came through yesterday with the super thanks, celebrating 30,000. I appreciate you ever so much, and we start with the wonderful VV9U, who says thanks. Thank you, VV. I appreciate you. You say thanks. I say thank you. Have an amazing day, VV. I appreciate you. Next up, we've got the wonderful Karen Foraker, who says thanks. Off to New York to see Lady Gaga. Enjoy your coffee. Hear that, Sam? Someone's got to see Lady Gaga.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, Sam likes a bit of Gaga. I don't mind a bit of Gaga either. I grew up in the era of Gaga when I was in school. She's a legend. I hope you enjoyed it. You got to tell us all about it, Karen. I hope that was great. I love her new hit, Abracadabra. When that dropped, I was like, it felt like it was classic Gaga from the 2010s, and I was just, this is so good. I hope you enjoyed Lady Gaga. Cheers to you, and cheers to Lady Gaga. The CAC 16 or the CSE 16, thank you so much. You said thanks, I said thank you. Have an amazing day, CSE 16. Next up, we've got the wonderful Kimberly the Goat. And Kimberly the Goat says, Vince made a horrible decision not putting Rachel on the block. I know you feel the same way, as does most people, but I am so happy that he didn't. Yeah, I'm happy because I'm seeing Rachel, who is actually playing gung-ho. I love that, and I want to see how far she can make it, but also it was a dumb decision for Vince not to do it. He should have took the swing. It is so refreshing to have at least one player who isn't afraid to... Just said it, who isn't afraid to take risks and speak her mind, even if I would sometimes put a muzzle on her. Lol. Thank you so much for your wonderful updates. I am so excited to see your postcard wall when it's complete. I cannot wait to see where everyone is from. It feels like a family meeting for the first time. It really does. That's why I'm so excited for it. Have a great day. Have a great day too, Kimberly. I appreciate you. We're always on the same wavelength, aren't we, with our takes? Thank you so much, Kimberly. Next up, we've got Deborah Griffiths. Thank you so much, wonderful Deborah. Very generous. I appreciate you. And Deborah says, congrats on 30k, Tom. You are my favourite. Hi to Sam. Hear that, Sam? Hi. There you go. Thank you so much, Deborah. We appreciate you. Have an amazing day, my love. Next up, we've got David Cushmore, who says, hi, Tom. The WWE Clash in Paris is this weekend. Kelly could go out this week. Kelly will run out of gas in the game and be evicted from Big Brother. It feels like she's starting to run on empty, if I'm being honest. Nobody likes a bully in the house. I don't want Keanu to win Big Brother because his game is not very good. He reminds me of Paul sometimes. Morgan needs therapy right after Big Brother 27. You said it, not me. That's not going to happen on Big Brother. Tom, get yourself some Starbucks coffee and M&Ms. Thank you so much, David. Have an amazing day. Can't wait for Clash in Paris, and definitely Kelly is starting to run low, I think. I don't see her being in the house much longer. Next up, we've got Gratitude Attitude, who says thanks. I say thank you. I appreciate you ever so much. Have an amazing day. Gratitude Attitude. I like that. It rhymes. Next up, we've got the wonderful Fiverr, sending love to Canada, as I always do when Fiverr shows up. And Fiverr says, congrats on 30k subs. Clap, clap, clap. Star eyes. I like it. I know lots of focus on Vaughan, Vincent Morgan, Cuddles, but man, she put the work in for Rachel, even when Rachel almost tanked herself over by trusting Keanu. Yeah, I think a big part of Rachel not being on the block this week is credited to Morgan. I think more is credited to Morgan than it is Rachel, so thank you for bringing that up. And the blinders are off when it comes to Keanu, thanks in no small part to Ashley. It will be very interesting to see what transpires. Thank you so much, Fiverr. Sending love to Canada, and to you, I appreciate you ever so much. We have next got Ryan the Reynolds. Buy a coffee and some M&Ms. Question, what type of M&M favourites? The other Ryan Reynolds. First of all, I love Ryan Reynolds. I'm a big fan of Deadpool. Love Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is great. So I think that's so cool that you call Ryan Reynolds. As for the M&M flavour that I like the most, I love the crispy ones. I also love the chocolate brownie. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm tied between those two. There's so many great flavours of M&Ms. And M&Ms have been such a big thing this season as well, because houseguests have been using them to count votes and alliances. It's great. But yes, thank you so much, Ryan Reynolds. That felt weird to say. Thank you, Ryan Reynolds. I appreciate you. And last but certainly not least, we've got the great Marie Carnley. Marie Carnley, always a bright light on this channel. Always so generous. Thank you so much, Marie. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. Have an amazing month. Have an amazing year, my love. I appreciate you. But that's all we've got time for, folks. I remind you all to go check out that Bachelor in Paradise breakdown if you want to see me and Sam bantering around for 40 minutes. It's a lot of fun. And I hope you all enjoy it. Please go show Sam some love on that one for her first hosting gig on TV Talks with Tom. But that's all we've got time for, folks. I hope that you're all staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there. And remember to be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that wonderful stuff. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.